Hello and welcome back to Cardboard Decoy plays Kerbal Space Program. So I'm going to hit resume flight and you're going to see exactly what flight we're talking about. Whee! So yes, I think with the location of my RCS fuel, my monopropellant tanks there, not such a great idea. Fortunately we can survive because there's like no gravity on Minmas at all. So yeah, even the tiniest of steps I'm getting a pretty good hop here. Let's see what one jump will do. Yeah, I could basically go about as high as I did being launched from my cockpit as I was. So, let's grab our EVA report while we're here. No, just above Minmas's lowlands. No, thank you. And don't hurt yourself. Okay, thank you, Bill Kerman. Alright, we are going to plant our flag. And we're going to call this the Sunday Lands mint chocolate chip. That's what they should really do. I think all the planets should have some kind of ice cream flavor theme to the way their landscapes look. Like if we could get big brown rocks here and then have like Duna, which is the equivalent of Mars, actually be like strawberry ice cream, that would be hilarious. And I think extremely within the realm of making sense in this particular universe. Okay, so we are going to get a surface sample. There we go. That's 150 science once we recover it. Isn't that fantastic? Alright, we're going to keep that. And then we are going to enter our ship and, well, can we control from here? No, it's not going to let us. Okay. If we had a drone piece, I'm sure it would let us, but we do not have a drone piece. Okay. And now we're going to turn on our rocket pack and hopefully... Whoa, easy. Easy. Okay. Whoa. I've got to learn how to do this really well because eventually I want to do docking procedure stuff, so... Okay. There we go. Boarded. Now we're going to observe Mystery Goo. What does Mystery Goo have to say? You observe the goo. Okay. It's like, sure thing, man. Observe Materials Bay. While the material samples were processed, you began to turn your thoughts on how much Minmas looks like a mint dessert and have discovered that you are now hungry. Yeah, I had the exact same observation myself, so there we go. I'm not alone in this thinking. Yes, so now we have all of our data. I am not going to transmit any more back home. I don't think it's entirely necessary. Now let's try to do this without flying almost into the sun as we did last time. That would be maybe not so great. So, yes. 3, 2, 1... Liftoff. Alright, let's just get to, like, say, 50. And then see where that puts us. Okay. And then we're going to bring up our nav ball. Start heading in this direction. Okay. And then we're going to cut that. And then move towards the horizon line. The plan is to hopefully actually get this orbit kind of straightened out a little bit so that we can hit Kerbin fairly easily, and that means actually making it to the equator and all of that. So actually let's go a little bit more north here. Okay. Cut the engines. Head like this. And there we go. It should be really easy to modify this orbit as we go too. Again, we don't have a lot of resistance, and we're not exactly at, like, a point of no return as far as adjusting our speed and direction goes at any one point in time, because we need so little delta V to actually, you know, move around and orbit here around Minmas, thanks to its size. So, we'll go ahead and do this. Go up and over. Either that or I'm just completely wrong about how all of this works, which is entirely likely, if not exactly what's going on. And we'll find out for sure, without a doubt. So, alright, and then we will head 90 degrees east here. Look at it go. See, it's turning. It's turning real easy. Alright. Okay. And we are almost at the point that we want to be. And what's going to be really handy is whenever we get our normal and anti-normal markers in a correct position for thinking more about how we want to turn this orbit. There we go. That's 12 and 19. Not exactly equal whatsoever, but that'll work. And then let's try to find our normal marker. Is that you? I believe that's you. Okay. And I think this will help us straighten out our orbit. Yeah, look at it. So as long as we're pointed there, it'll tilt. So that's the axis of our tilt there. Or at least 90 degrees from our axis of tilt, so that we can kind of manipulate that a little bit. And again, since we need such low delta V, I'm just going to, without circularizing my orbit, set up a node for where I want to actually go to get into Kerbin's SOI, and then go from there. Alright. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good stuff indeed. Okay. And cut the engines. How much fuel do we have left? We have so much fuel left. Yeah, there is nothing to worry about. Again, the delta V required to get off of Minmas is extremely minimal. Alright, we're gonna point that towards... Whoa! Okay, well, we've gotten into Kerbin's SOI. With a 1 second burn. So, again, the freaking requirements for gravity here are just absolutely fantastic. So, still takes 30 minutes to go around, which is comparable to actually orbiting around Kerbin right outside of its atmosphere. So, interesting fun facts and all that. So, okay, there's the moon, there's Jebediah, and then let's go ahead and turn this way. So we are out of monopropellant, I just want to point out, and we're still turning about as fast as we'd ever want to. So, again, the torque on this is just fantastic and great. Okay, we're pointed in the right direction, speed up time, and hopefully don't, like, unexpectedly crash into a mountain that's poking out of nowhere. Okay. 4, 40, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and whoop. There we go. We basically literally need almost no time to thrust, but, you know, might as well play it safe. There's no reason not to. So, okay. And then... And... ready for escape velocity. We're not at full thrust at all, but that's totally fine. Alright. And then, yeah, we're done. That's the maneuver node, everybody. I hope you didn't miss it. Okay, so let's go ahead and speed up time by quite a bit. And there we go. We have escaped. And then we're going to hit periapsis, burn a little bit, proapsis, burn a little bit. Or apoapsis, I should say. Proapsis. What am I talking about? Jeez. Alright. We're gonna burn a retrograde. Prograde would be completely wrong. That would be maybe if we're trying to, like, leave our current sphere of influence and go fly into the sun or something, which I would do, except flying into the sun is remarkably unsatisfactory. Like, it basically, you just get a certain distance away from the sun and then you explode, because the actual surface of the sun is quite a ways out. From the physical model of the sun. Let's see. Alright, so periapsis, proapsis have switched around. Periapsis and apoapsis have switched around. Sorry. Okay. And then we're going to get that into, like, I don't know, a bunch of meters. Okay. Oh, hey, we are landing. Whoops. Maybe a little far there. Let's try to not do that. I do want to have, like, a fairly normal landing procedure here, so... we're going to spin it around and actually pull our orbit out of the surface of the planet. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, there we go. 69. You know what? That's close enough. Okay, as long as we're not intercepting the moon or anything like that, we're fine. Whoa, easy. It's so easy to get carried away with the speed sometimes. Okay. And there we go. We're about to hit periapsis. And it's going to completely shut down our time warp here in a second. Yep, there's 50. And let's go ahead and fire. Is that retrograde? It is retrograde. Fantastic. And whoa, there we go. Found the moon for a second. Could swing by the moon if we wanted, but we don't have anything else to pick up science with. So, and eventually we'll come up with a lunar explorer type vehicle that will be able to cruise around and do fun things, but not just yet. I need to perfect my ability to make space planes, which might take a while, admittedly. So, okay, let's see. We're almost there with that. And we're quite a ways out from periapsis, so this might be unwise, but that's totally fine. Alright. And yeah, we're still pointed that way, right? And yeah, this should totally work. Okay, you know what? That's good enough. We're gonna end up nowhere near Kerbal Space Center, but this is enough to make me think that we could probably land this without too many issues. So let's go ahead and do that. Why not? Okay, so fire those rockets. Basically bleed off all the speed that we have from orbit, and then separate in the correct direction to keep us from running into our own thing, and that will be the plan. That'll be basically all that we do here. So turn it around. Try not to repeat the last snafu from whenever we nearly broke ourselves in low carbon atmosphere, and then separate. So long, dear friend. So it's gonna still slow down faster than we are, but that's exactly what we want to have happen. So, actually it should be relatively speeding up, I think. Is that right? Yeah, because we're still going the same speed, and then that's going slower and slower, so relative to us it should look like it's speeding up quite a bit. Okay, cool. So now we are going to approach, re-entry, vectors, etc., whatever, words, sciencey things, and then, yeah, you know, I'm not really sure. I hadn't really thought past this point. I'm like, okay, we made it to Minmas. We have achieved all of our goals. What's next? The answer is probably going to be probes, I'm thinking. So we're a little ways off from really trying to get to Eve or anything like that. We need a little bit more research in a few things. So we'll mess around with probes and the science thing and try to figure out what's going on with those exactly, and then go from there. So is the plan. That's what I want to do, at least. So let's go ahead and speed up this process. Oh, it's not going to let me warp anymore. Okay, so here we go. 24-day mission to Minmas. A little bit more accurate for what it would be like to actually travel to the moon if you were a human-type space-faring individual. So, let's see. Although that's just to get to the moon, so Lord knows what 24 days feels like. Good Lord. Like, that's one of the many reasons why I don't think... I remember being a small child and being like, oh, I want to be an astronaut. And they're like, it takes a month and a half to get to the moon. And I'm like, in a tiny-ass spaceship? Fuck that. I'd be so bored. So, yeah. Weird realist that I was as a small child, indeed. Okay. We're burning in re-entry. Fortunately, that doesn't really mean anything to us. And then we'll go ahead and deploy shoot. That'll bleed off a good chunk of our speed. And we are landing on the... Well, this is getting kind of close to the horizon line for the sun here. I don't know if it's sunrise or sunset, so I just call it the horizon line, where, you know, the sun sees the horizon of the planet from our perspective. But we can't see the actual line where it crosses exactly, so whatever. No big deal. We're still losing a lot of horizontal speed as our marker slowly nears the top here. And then, do we see our shadow yet? Not quite. Waiting for that shadow. Show me that shadow. Still no shadow. Huh. So disappointing. Okay, chute should be opening any second now. Thank you. I was about to actually get a little nervous there. Oh, hey. I saw the shadow of it. There it is. There's all of our pieces. Can we switch to... I forgot how to switch. Is it bracket? Cannot switch vessels while in the atmosphere. Okay, never mind. So, yeah, I was going to try to switch over to the debris so we could look at it. But, yeah, there's apparently some pieces of it actually survived, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, totally fine. Whatever. We are covered in batteries, which is totally fine. They have no physical properties, but it does look kind of ugly. I'll have to fix that eventually, I guess. So, and here we go. We should be landing any second now. Ready for it. And, there's our shadow. Ooh, bonk. There we go. Cool. Another successful mission. We went to Minmas and back. That's nothing to sneeze at. And then, so yeah. 527 science total. Good golly. That was definitely worth it. So, yeah, our next step is basically just continue exploring what we can explore. So that includes Kerbin, the moon, and Minmas, and try to get a little bit of extra science. So maybe we'll try to come up with a rover or something. Let's see what we can actually research. This will be the last part of the video, I'm pretty sure, but still one of the more fun parts. And this, I want to know what that is. What are these? These are hitchhiker storage container, adapters, docking ports. You know what? Let's get the docking stuff. This is an atomic rocket motor. Alternator outputs quite a bit. Now, max thrust is 60. Junkyard Spaceships Part Co. Trefoil painted on the side of the engine. It's radioactive exhaust and tendency to overheat. The LVN atomic rocket motor is harmless mostly. So this is going to end up being the, well, let's see, liquid fuel and oxidizer. Engine ISP is 800 in a vacuum. So this ends up becoming, it doesn't generate a lot of thrust. Like if you look over there, max thrust is 60. So, but the thing is that it is so incredibly fuel efficient that this is what you use for longer term flights and the like to get from one place to another. So that's definitely very, very much high up on the list of things we want to get. So we have stack separators, girder segments, more stack separators, Clampetron docking port junior, radial attachment point. Originally a defective Clampetron docking port, engineers soon discovered it had great potential as a structural element. So yeah, these are all construction things that might be useful in the not too distant future. How much does this cost? It's 550 science. We could have gotten it, but we didn't. So there's still a bunch of other things I want to get. Big couplers, what is it? Fuselage, yes, this is what we wanted, or I wanted at least. I want to get these things because those will help with deciding where to put things like batteries and science and everything else. Advanced grabbing unit. We might be able to save Jebediah yet. No fuel crossfeed. Okay, motion center, strap dropped stuff. These are supersonic flight parts. This is more just general flight parts. I want all of these things. I really do. I want every single one of them, and it's really hard for me to decide right now. I'll tell you what, let's get the Gravitron. We're going to play with some designs to try to rescue Jebediah. That's what's going to happen. That's going to be one of the next things that happens here. Composites. The not Rockamax micronode. Construction vehemently denies any and all accusations of industrial espionage arising from the similarities between this product and a product with which will not... okay. Sorry, I'm more excited about what's going on here than actually trying to read, because I'm like, wait, this all seems very new. Perfect for... Yeah, these are all just construction bits. Okay. What is this? Advanced aerodynamics, NCS adapter. Interesting. Standard nose cone. Bicoupler, one engine's not enough. Okay, yeah, that's all aerodynamic stuff. This is all separating things. It looks like there's a gas pump involved. I'm not sure what's up with that. Okay. So we still have enough for one more of the 90 upgrades. So which one of those do we want? Do we want to get plain stuff and play with plain stuff? Some of you are probably like completely beside yourselves with the ones that you would actually want. So that's atmospheric use, gears. Oh man, this is tough. This is real tough. That's micro landing strut, mass drag, crash tolerance is 10 meters a second. Space probes are lightweight landers. So if we want to do smaller landers, let's do this because we can get the thermometer, which will allow us to take temperatures and get more science, and then the mobile processing lab, which will also enable us to get more science, and then maybe we'll make a small moon base somewhere as well. Might not be a terrible idea. And then we also have a ladder now, which is going to make some of our designs a little bit easier to figure out. That's more science stuff. Bay. Comes equipped with advanced telescopic extension technology. Recommended load 1.5 Kerbals. I'm not entirely sure what this is talking about. I don't know what that is. I can't see. And comes equipped with advanced telescopic blah blah blah. Okay. And then this is power stuff. Okay. We're making pretty good progress on this tree for episode 14. Yeah, I don't feel too bad about it. I know the tree goes on quite a ways. Like, I think this is where it cuts off, and it's already at 550 here, so you can only imagine what's down the line. Yeah, so I guess our next little recording block is going to be dedicated to poking around and trying to come up with something that can move around on the moon very easily, and could also potentially pick up a stranded Kerbin or two. So is the plan. Let's see. Do I have... Let me close that. Let's go here. And then we're going to very quickly look at... Hold on. How far over am I? Only a minute. Okay, that's fine. This is an inline cockpit. We've got this. Crew capacity 1. These are drone things. So I'm wondering how we can pick up a Kerbin. That's a hitchhiker storage container. Yeah, so we can throw them in there, and then that'll work. Okay, this is starting to come together. And that's a grabbing unit for his cockpit that we want to grab. So, this might be 2 separate projects altogether, but this will test what we know about actually being able to, be able to rescue somebody and move things around. So, should be very interesting. And now that we also have docking ports, this will also allow us to try to attempt a few interesting things. So, structural, this is an adapter. That's a very small to fairly large adapter. There we go. That's the size adapter that we really want. Plus also, that makes more sense than some other things as far as attaching science and whatnot too goes. So there we go. See, and then we can put all of our science-y and batteries and stuff like that on there. And then down here we can add, like, I'm just spitballing ideas at this point. This is the lab. The labs are freaking huge. It's basically meant to be an independent payload that you can drop off somewhere and then go nuts with. So, yeah, clearly, if you're building a science vessel type thing, then you want to just sort of go nuts with it like this. Put it somewhere and then process all your stuff and then come back later. So is the plan for the most part. I'm thinking... Yeah, so we'll do more thinking and design ideas and whatnot. And if you have input, I mean, I record these videos really far in advance, but input is always appreciated. It just, prepare to be slightly frustrated with my ridiculous ideas for a good chunk of these. And then, at some point I'll catch up and consolidate all the ideas and then be like, oh, hey, by the way, hopefully I managed to write down your name and give you proper credit for things, but, this is from your comment months back. Maybe not months. The farthest I've gotten ahead on any one particular video series so far is a month, and that was, that other game, Nemoria. There we go. I'm already 3 weeks out from recording the Nemoria videos, or is it only 2? God, I can't even remember. Seems like so long ago regardless. Anyways, I'm getting super tangential and this video is going over, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here, and when we come back, we'll play around with some rocket designs, and you'll either scream or applaud my creativity and ridiculousness, and either one is just as pleasantly acceptable in my book. So, this has been Cardboard Decoy playing Kerbal Space Program. If you've enjoyed, please do like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Have fun.